Howdy, my friends. I've got some news from a lot of people lately that are just simply having problems playing a simple F chord. And I remember when I had to first do it, it was a major pain. The majority of it, actually, which I didn't know, came from having bad guitars. Back in those days, not many were made well, especially in my price range, okay, on acoustic guitars. At least today's guitars, made in the past 10 years, are generally all made pretty well and can all be made to play very well. So they should not hurt you. If they do, get your guitar simply worked on and it can play as easy as an electric guitar does. Head down to any shop, try an electric guitar. If it plays good and doesn't hurt, I'm not saying to buy one. I'm just saying your acoustic guitar can be made to play as easy as an electric. Tell the people there that's what you want, and it will hurt no longer. Okay, so let's teach you how to play an F chord so you will not be defeated. That's what I keep hearing. It's like, I'm going to stop. I can't even do that. No, you can do this. I'm not gonna let you fail. I've been doing a lot of easy stuff lately for you guys, and that's the people who need it the most. Other people are, shredding, and I don't shred. I don't want to shred. I want to teach people to not stop playing. I want them to be groovy. Okay, so what we have is, you already probably know how to play a C chord, but this is the way I want you to practice getting your F chord. Okay, so a C chord, if you do not know it, I'm going to go third, second, first finger. I want it up here on your A string, your third finger, third fret on the A string. Now down here on the D string, your second finger on the second fret. We're going to skip over the G string, and then we're going to put our first finger on the first fret of the B string. Okay, now when we play it with 5 strings, starting with your A string, so the first string down, so not the lowest string, not the low E, but where this finger is. So that's the A string all the way down. Okay, the main thing there is trying to arch your fingers correctly. I always call it a tunnel. You have to have a train tunnel, so your fingers have to actually be arched to let the strings pass under them. All that is, and you cannot say my fingers are too fat, because man, you've got people out there with sausage fingers playing guitars, and there's no reason you can't do it too. People with fingers twice as fat as yours. Okay, it's just the way it is. So everybody can do it. Okay, again, yes, we're going to do the F in a second, but this is the way I will teach you to play that F. Okay, so again, the C chord is almost identical to the F. So again, make sure that C chord has no dead strings ringing. And a good rule of thumb is to take that thumb, don't wrap it around, but just touch it this much. You're not going to push down on the low E string. You're just going to shut it up by going. Now you'll be able to just hit your low E string, start wrapping your thumb around until it's just enough where it shuts it up. So when you play, you're not hearing. So that will clean it up immediately and get rid of that nasty sound. And when you go to play the F chord, we're not going to have this 5th note playing, or this 5th string. We're actually going to move everything down, so you will actually wrap your thumb around and cover those 2 strings. Okay, so that's another thing that's making your F sound horrible, because I will be doing, okay, I'm hitting all 6 strings, and okay, that's what's going to help you sound a lot better. Going to the F, I just want to make sure you can play it correctly, and then I'm going to give you an exercise to work on so this will stop hurting. Of course, you need, a little callus work, but I want you to do this whether you're sitting on the toilet or sitting there watching TV or sitting there trying to practice. Okay, and this is stuff that you can do all the time, and I'm actually going to make you play the F chord in 2 different places. Okay, so that will teach it to you faster, and it'll make it actually a little more fun to play. Okay, so we got the C here. Now the F is going to look the same. You take this, every single finger down. So you take that one down 1 string. So now you're at the 3rd fret of the D string. Take that one down. Now you're at the 2nd fret of the G string. This one stays where it's at. Okay, so the 1st fret of the B string. And then we have to flatten it. Okay, this is called a barre, B-A-R-R-E. It's not a Roseanne bar. It is just a barre, okay, which means covering more than 1 string with the same finger. Make sure you can just simply do that. Play those 2 strings together. Push them down and as close to the fret as you can with every string. That's always the best rule, without going on top of them. So not way back here, but right there. Okay? And this is very, very easy for me to play. Not because I've been playing it for 40 years, or 50 years I should say. 45 years, let's split the difference, since I was 9. Okay? This is because the guitar is set up to play with the strings, on top of those frets, and yours can be too. Any pain, get your guitar set up. If you still feel pain, make them fix it for free, because it should be able to be set up very easily. Just take it back, say, sorry, you still don't have it. And that's your right to. Okay, so don't give up because of 1 chord. But people are talking about doing so, and I won't allow it to happen if humanly possible. Okay, so the F chord. I'm starting on the D string, playing them all. Make sure you can hear them. If you start hearing goofy notes that suck, remember, wrap your thumb around, no pressure, and do it until you find out how much you have to do it. Okay? So that's if you have a bad habit of hitting all them other strings. If you don't worry about it. If you can play them and not hit those other strings, great. But know that you do have a thumb, most of us. If not, you'll learn to play without it. Okay? There's always a way around it. If you're missing an appendage or whatever, we can always get around it. Okay, what I want you to do to practice this is, oddly enough, just this, playing from the C. Okay, what I'm looking for is going to be this by the time you get there. And I'm also going to have you do this, where you play the F chord and you move the whole thing up 2 frets. You start at your first dot or whatever. It actually becomes a G chord, but just a different way of playing a G chord. You can play this F anywhere and it becomes whatever chord that first finger is on. So if that's an F note, that's an F chord. move it up here. That's a G note. Play the F chord. That's a G chord. Move it up here. That's an A note. Play the F chord. That's an A chord. It's just a new way of playing them for you, but it will allow you to do F chords all over the place because you'll have to eventually. I want you to do basically an old song, like every song from the 50s. Okay, just so you can practice another way with this too. I want you to go, okay, 3 times on the C. Now on this F, twice. Then I want you to move it up to the G position. So everything two frets up. 3 times. Then when you go back to the F, twice. Okay, so 3 times on C, 2 times on F, 3 times on G, 2 times on F again. So you have this. Then you can do this. Okay, so that's just an easy way. You're like, easy, no way. That is something for you to aspire to play. That just gives you something that you are familiar with, okay, to play along with. And you can slow this thing down. Just not finger picking, but playing with your pick, or finger picking. C. Just whatever you feel. F. G. F. Back to C. Okay. Now there are other things that you can do to help this out. This actually works in a few ways. I'm not going to get too far off of this, but if you play a regular G chord with your ring finger along with it, so if you know your regular G, which is 3rd fret, 2nd fret, then your pinky down here on the 3rd fret, but also add your ring finger 3rd fret of the B string. If you have it without it, we don't want that right now, so please play it my way because this will just benefit you. And then if you just take these 2 fingers just the way they are, put them down one string each. So that's actually going from G to C. It's actually what's called a C suspended second, but that all comes later. But that's what we're basically doing with the C and the F as well, because we can go. So that's just a cool little trick for you to know, and you can do it one more time. Some John Mellencamp. See. Check this out. Go down one more fret. So if you do little pink houses, that's all it is. Just move those same fingers around. And that's what I want you to do to learn the F. Because if you play something you're interested in, you're actually going to practice it. If it just hurts, what fun is that to practice? None. 0. So again, make sure your guitar is set up correctly, and by that I mean it should not hurt. If it does, it is not set up correctly. And again, if it still hurts, take it back, say, hey, find me somebody better to work on this. They probably actually need to lower the nut. this piece right here, they will just take it off and like sand on the bottom side of it until it can get as low as humanly possible. And they'll probably do the same thing on the bridge, take it off and just use a Dremel and sand that down till everything gets as low as possible before it starts farting out on you going that kind of sound. Okay, so same as we were just doing with the G and the C, but okay, you can do it without doing the bar. I want you to do, so you're only moving those 2 fingers down, just as before on the G and the C. Only thing you're not doing is bending that down so you're barring across, and you're not hitting the high E string. You can. And it is an F, it's called an F major 7. And you'll end up using that chord as well later on because it sounds great in ballads. If you remember a song called Tonight's the Night by Rod Stewart, that's the chords they use. Stay away from a window. Stay away from a window too. I'm not singing loud. But I will do what I have to teach you this. So again, okay, so just work on going back and forth fast as you can on your own rate that you want to, but okay, so try to get this first. And try not to look down. I know that sucks, but you shouldn't have to. You're just moving 2 fingers down, and then you're just flattening that. Okay, so if you work on just these 2, like they're glued together, and work on that for a while, then you will not have to look down. If you spend a half an hour while you're watching Family Guy or whatever you're watching, then add in just the 1 extra note. Be daring. Go flat. That's actually supposed to be comfortable instead of hurting. That feels so much better to me than having to go up like this. And it will become that way for you, to where it becomes more comfortable than regular chords. Okay? So again, work without doing the bar. You can let that high E string ring, it doesn't matter. It sounds like some folk music, you know, maybe some Dylan or Joan Baez type of stuff back when. And then when you feel all froggy, now what's going to happen is your fingers are going to start slanting. Okay, they will look like this. Okay, so they're laying on top of each other, almost. Don't try to go straight down, that will hurt. Try to angle them so that they're pointing towards this way. Okay, if you try to do it straight down, that's going to throw your shoulder out of whack. Okay, C, you're going straight down on it, but when you move to F, it needs to go all curvy, cattywampus like this. It's a shoulder thing and an elbow thing. It should not hurt. So what's hurting is the fact that you're trying to play it straight like this. You're going to throw your back out if you try to do that. Okay, so it's all about your elbow should always be free and never lock up if you're doing it correctly. Okay? It should never get stiff, ever, ever. So no Viagra. It should just be limp. Okay, so that's about it. I want you to get that F chord. And again, just remember the Louie Louie or any 50s song. Even if you can't get that bar right away, don't let it mess you up. Play it without it for a while until you can add it. Okay? So that's your lesson for today. Trying to tame that F and also making the F chord up here where the G is, because we're going to use it a lot later because we're going to be making other chords out of it, and work with that G and C thing. Then if you go to regular C, there you go. Okay, you guys be groovy, have a wonderful day, and again, do not let this stop you. It's so easy to overcome. Okay, take care. Be with you soon. Bye.